All right, Comets fans, we are hanging out again at the merch table, and there's some new stuff that you're going to have to get your hands on. First of all, how about a $24 scarf? You got to take a look at this. Oh, it's got your name on it right there. And yes, Comets fans, you can get it right here at the merch table. Make sure you come take a look at some of the other stuff, the replica jerseys. They got anything and everything you're going to need, especially right around the time for holidays. This is the time right now. Head out to the merch table, and let's get your stuff. The countdown until Christmas, and who's here but Santa? That's right, Comets fans. Make sure you guys come get your picture taken with Santa just before the game starts. Make sure you come do this. He's here. And if you want something for Santa, look at this. There we go. Oh, there they are. They're excited. That's right. You got to come see Santa before the game starts. All right, Comets fans, we are hanging out again at the merch table, and there's some new stuff that you're going to have to get your hands on. First of all, how about a $24 scarf? You got to take a look at this. Oh, it's got your name on it right there. And yes, Comets fans, you can get it right here at the merch table. Make sure you come take a look at some of the other stuff, the replica jerseys. They got anything and everything you're going to need, especially right around the time for holidays. This is the time right now. Head out to the merch table, and let's get your stuff. The countdown until Christmas, and who's here but Santa? That's right, Comets fans. Make sure you guys come get your picture taken with Santa just before the game starts. Make sure you come do this. He's here. And if you want something for Santa, look at this. There we go. Oh, there they are. They're excited. That's right. You got to come see Santa before the game starts.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome inside Silverstein Ice Center's Arena, where tonight the Kansas City Comets, with a record of 2-5, are going to host their Central Division rivals, the Milwaukee Wave, who come in with a perfect record of 8-0. Alongside Jeff Houston, I'm Nick Vassos. And first, Jeff, let's talk about the Comets tonight. A couple of new players that fans are going to have an opportunity to see. One, Anthony Grant, and then the new defender, James Togba. Tell us about these two players.
Yeah, James Togba, this will be his third game with us. Solid defender, comes to us from FC Wichita. He's put up some great numbers in the last game he was with us, and Coach Kim's really excited about what he can provide for our back line. And then Anthony Grant, you talked about. He's been practicing and training with the squad all season long. He opened his account with a goal and 2 assists last week in Cedar Rapids, and the kid is fast, and he can score some goals. So really excited about what he can do, especially against an offensive juggernaut like we're playing tonight.
Yeah, fans watching this series between Milwaukee and Kansas City, it dates back decades ago, but since 2010, there have been some really memorable moments between these two teams.
Well, yeah, in the highest level of indoor soccer, no two teams have played each other more than these two teams since 2010. Some of my favorite games, I mean, we ended up on the wrong side of a couple of them. The opener, our very first game, was a great, memorable game. I remember the first time the Comets beat the Wave. It was on New Year's Eve in Milwaukee, and some great playoff series. So this series has produced probably some of the greatest moments in indoor soccer over the past 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, it'll be the 31st meeting between these two teams, and the series is tied at 15 each, just to give you an idea about how close it's been. One thing that we are going to be watching tonight for Milwaukee, and that is their great goalkeeper, Josh Lemos, who's perfect at 8-0. Josh had a run-in their last game with Corey Adamson against St. Louis. He got his bell rung a little bit, so we'll have to watch Josh, right?
Yeah, scary moment in that game, and Josh got his bell rung. He hit his head on the ground pretty hard. Ended up going through the league's concussion protocol, but it was just announced before the game tonight, about an hour ago, that he's been cleared and he's ready to play. I talked to him in the locker room. He said, that he's feeling good. It shook him for a little bit, but he says he's ready to play. I told him he could take a rest, but he says he's ready to play tonight.
Yeah, it'll make the Comets' job a whole lot difficult, that's for sure, Jeff. Well, there's one thing that Milwaukee is going to be working towards tonight, and that is to set a new franchise record. If they win tonight, it'll be a new record for most consecutive wins to start the season. It's the Wave and Comets coming up. We'll have it next. Hi again, everybody, and welcome inside beautiful Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Glad to have you here on a Friday night for more Major Arena Soccer League action. It's tonight the Kansas City Comets, with a record of 2-5, hosting their Central Division rival in the Milwaukee Wave, who come in with a perfect record of 8-0. Great to be teamed with Brian Budzinski once again. And, Bud, we have to talk about this series. No two teams have played more since 2010 in more games than Milwaukee and Kansas City. 30 games in all, 15 wins for each side. The regular season, the playoffs, so many memorable moments have been created by these two franchises.
Yeah, I mean, anytime the Milwaukee Wave and the Kansas City Comets get together, you know it's going to be a battle. You know it's going to be entertaining. You know both teams are well coached. There's also a little bit of physicality to the matches between each other because there's a ton of pride. And as you just said, it's 15-15. I mean, what's more even than that than identical records for both sides leading into year 7 between these two teams playing each other.
So the task is going to be tough for the Comets tonight. It's a safe bet. Milwaukee is talented. They're experienced. They have depth. And they are undefeated. What kind of effort are the Comets going to need tonight in order to try to knock off this undefeated Milwaukee team?
Well, you got to pay attention to the 4-headed monster, not the 3-headed monster. Andre Hain, Max Ferdinand, Marcio Liete, and obviously league MVP level playing Ian Bennett.
Let's not forget about Robert Renaud. He's among the league leaders in points too, so that kind of underscores the depth there for Milwaukee. Let's quickly give you the starting lineups. First, with the visiting Milwaukee Wave. In goal, it will be Josh Lemos, who had a collision with Corey Adamson when the last time that these two teams met up, and was some concern that Lemos might not be able to go tonight because of concussion protocol, but he was just cleared before game time. So Lemos and his 8-0 record will go tonight for Milwaukee. Guillermo Vega, Drew Ruggles, they'll be the defenders. Max Ferdinand, Ian Bennett, and Angel Curiel will round out the starters for Milwaukee. Now for the hometown Comets, it'll be Casey Gasson who will be starting in goal tonight. For Gasson, he'll be making his sixth start tonight. His record is 2-3. The two defenders in front of him, Andre Braithwaite, as well as Guerrero Pino. And playing up top will be Pat Kelly, Milan Ivanovic, and Brian Perez. Milwaukee and Kansas City underway from Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Glad to have you here on MASL TV. Milwaukee coming in wearing their fluorescent uniforms. There's Ian Bennett, again, who is off to an MVP type of start this year. He already has 20 goals, 6 assists to go along with it. Perez down to the corner to Pino. Here's a long drive, that one coming off the foot of James Togba. No, correction, that was Kyle Williams. And the ball quickly sent down towards Kansas City's half, and the Comets boot it back towards Milwaukee's side. Comets will go for some changes as Lemos boots it up towards Drew Ruggles. Josh Lemos, 11-2 last year. His goals against average 4.83. This year, even better, 8-0, and his goals against is 4.33. His 8 wins lead the MASL. A pass down into the corner. Now up top comes to Grable. Here's Liete with a shot and a goal, and Milwaukee strikes first. Marcio Liete gets the wave on top, and it's now 1-0.
Yeah, what you're going to see here, Nick, is too much space for Liete. I mean, it's just real simple. A player of his level should not have that much of a distance here. So you see the ball being played over here by Grable, and then, you know, Liete's got 10 yards between himself and Kyle Williams and Milan Ivanovic, and there you go.
You know, we mentioned a little bit about Liete, but it goes worth mentioning again. Liete played in only 3 games last year. This is his 9th game. He's played in every game this year so far for the Wave. Liete now with his 6th goal on the season and a big pileup in front of the Comets goal there. Looked like Milwaukee might have a chance. Now Santos goes hard into the boards against Togba, one of the newcomers for the Comets, and a foul called on Kansas City. And that'll go against the newcomer, James Togba. James Togba picked up from FC Wichita. And it'll result in a restart on the far touchline. There's Jonathan Santos, who leads the Wave in blocks this year with 18. Santos flicks it back to Liete. Liete's got it on the left side here, just inside the Comet yellow line. Liete moves to his right.
See right there, the difference is, Nick, you see is Leo Gibson is not allowing Liete to have any space right there. So Liete likes to ISO guys, and you know, when he's got him ISO'd, he likes to slow the ball down and then kind of be shifty with it. Well, you know, Leo Gibson closes that space down and just eliminates that skill set from him.
Comets kick it long. O'Dane Sinclair all the way back to Lemos. That'll allow the Comets to get some fresh legs out on the field, as well as Milwaukee. Vega will hold it. Milwaukee 8-0. Ooh, there's a bad ball in the midfield area. Lemos goes in hard against Lucas. And I can't believe there wasn't a penalty there. Lucas Rodriguez already not feeling well heading into today's game. Rodriguez he's been sick.
So you see a bad ball by Drew Ruggles right here. It's 2-footed slide tackle right there, you know, and you've got head referee Ryan Sigich, you know, is standing, you know, over Lucas Rodriguez right now, and
that should be a blue card.
Yeah, I mean, any 2-footed slide tackle, you know, is by definition is supposed to be a blue card right there.
So that's a break for the visitors there. The teams will remain at even strength, and thankfully Lucas is okay. But again, he's been sick leading up to this game, and they weren't even sure he was going to be able to play in the game. They were thinking maybe some spot duty, but Lucas hobbles off the field. It appears he's going to be all right, but Kansas City will maintain possession of the ball. speaking of hobbling, Comets coach Kim Runfed, he sort of has been on the injured list as well. He has had a tough time with his back. He's had a hard time getting around. I saw him in practice the other day. He was moving kind of slow, but Coach Kim Runfed there behind the bench, directing the boys out there on the carpet. Perez near side Sinclair. Now back over to Kelly. 1-0 Milwaukee on a goal by Marcio Liete. Into the right wing corner to Leo. Off the top of the glass, and Lemos snares it with his gloves. 12 minutes and 19 seconds, and here come the Wave. Ferdinand across the half line. Marked by a pair of two Comet jerseys, and boy, that one sent into the mixers there, and I couldn't tell who got a hold of it. Casey may have snagged that one with an acrobatic dive. Now Renault, he sends it looking far post for Bennett. Now Bennett back into the middle and broken up by Sinclair of the Comets. Josh Lemos. You know, he had that bad pass just a moment ago, but Lemos recognized as one of those keepers who's really good with his feet. And that helps out the Milwaukee offense, build up their offense. Here's Lemos chipping it forward for Ruggles. Pino comes up from the defender position to knock it back. Now a long one from Curiel into the box, and now a drive, ding-dong off the post. Ruggles rattled the cage there as Gaston left the ball open for him.
Yeah, you know, Casey goes up for the header, and he turns his back on the play. Puts himself in a dangerous spot right there.
11:19 to play in the first. Into the corner to Braithwaite. Andre Braithwaite away from the goal to Pino. Winds up first time, up and over the glass. Goalkeeper distribution coming up for Milwaukee. 11 minutes and 12 seconds left to play.
It's a good look at Josh Lemos. You were just speaking about the quality that he has with his feet. And speaking, you know, and talking to Comets goalkeeper coach Alan Mayer, who's obviously, you know, a legend in the indoor game, played for our U.S. national team as a goalkeeper. He loves the progression since Josh has came into the league. Obviously, he's on the Canadian National Futsal League, or Canadian National Futsal player. But what you've seen is he looked shaky in the beginning, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. And then now as he's getting a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more comfortable working there in Milwaukee, you know, his game's dramatically improved. He's very good with his feet.
Andre Hain and O'Dane Sinclair get tangled up. And Ryan Sigich, who's here tonight as one of our officials, steps in right away. Good to see the director of officiating for the MASL get a Comet game here in Kansas City. Ryan Sigich has a nice new feature that's been put out on the MASL's Facebook page called You Make the Call, where there is the league shares some video of some controversial calls and asks the fans there to make a call of what they think. And then Ryan will weigh in a few days later and let everybody know what the call should have been. It's created a lot of discussion and a lot of education there about the tough job that MASL officials have there on the field. It is so quick down there.
Yeah, you know, Nick, I mean, basketball is a very tough sport to officiate. I feel like hockey, arena soccer, obviously it's such a tight space. You know, the athletes nowadays are incredible, right? And so, you know, these guys do a really good job.
Nacho. Now over to Leo. Here's Leo, darts inside. Looking to get it back over to Nacho, but a foul called against Milwaukee. And the Comets will keep it there. There's the great Leo Gibson, the former MVP. Got a chance to talk to Leo at practice the other day. Still loves it, still loved to play a couple more years. Now Pino winds up. Anthony Grant was there on the post there, but couldn't redirect it in. Milwaukee's defense holds, and the Comets will work it around the perimeter. Here's Brian Perez with under 10 to play in the first. Milwaukee leading 1-0. This is the third meeting between these two teams. Milwaukee has taken both games so far this year. A 7-4 win here at Silverstein and an 11-7 win up in Milwaukee. There's Perez with a cannon, and that one off the hand of Andre Hain, and a spot Comets are going to get here on the restart. And a good opportunity here.
Milwaukee foul number 99, Hain, his second of the half.
Going to go down as a foul against Hain.
Be interesting to see what the Comets set up right here. It's a good opportunity.
Perez, Pino. And that one up to section 100.
For the absolute lowest price.
Got to stay over the ball if you're Pino. Bottom line is you've got a dangerous set piece. The ball's got to be on frame, bare minimum. Got to have your fundamentals there. Stay over the ball.
Shocking prices is the official furniture and bedding store of the Comets. Check out the
Marcio Lente with the lone goal so far here tonight, his 6th on the year. Stuart Grable picking up the assist. Meanwhile, at the other end, Ricardinho gets knocked down by Cody Andrews. Or Cody Hoffman, excuse me, Cody Hoffman. And a foul called on the Comets.
Kansas City foul on number 18.
Now here's a drive by Vega.
That's his first.
And it looks like they triggered the restart too fast, and we're going to have to do it over again.
Seen a pretty intense conversation right there with Brian Perez and the referee. Brian Perez is saying, hey, you got to be, you know, Brian's been in the league for a while. He's saying, hey, you got to make a decision here what you're doing. If this is a quick restart, we're allowed to stand here until you
Mark it off.
And then it's a restart on the whistle. These restarts are so important to the arena soccer game, Nick. How you are organized offensively and defensively.
Here's Ferdinand to the corner. In front. Still loose out front. The ball comes to Pat Kelly of the Comets. Kelly over to Hoffman. Now Sinclair. Sinclair towards the half line, but taken back by Bennett. Bennett tees one up and bangs it off Hoffman of the Comets. The rebound all the way back to Lemos and the Wave yellow line. Max Ferdinand of the Wave.
You see the top of your screen right here. You see Lucas Rodriguez coming back into play, and that's a good sign if you're a Comets fan.
Far side Santos. Now Lemos. The Canadian kicks it long, looking for Bennett. Another Canadian now front and center to Ferdinand. And Ferdinand draws the foul against Sinclair.
You know, it's a foul on O'Dane for sure, but the thing is he didn't need to commit the foul right there. Ferdinand was not in a great position to bring that ball down to ground. All O'Dane has to do is just hold his position right there and allow the ball to come down. Dangerous restart right here. You got Santos, Ferdinand.
Santos peels off. Ferdinand takes it. And that one hit a couple of Comets players.
Yeah, you see it was good defense by the Comets right there. Kept that wall maintained. And that's always the key is when you get a guy that runs through is how tight your wall stays initially for that second player to take that shot. So far, Nick, I like this game right here. It's a little bit of a chess match you're seeing. Both teams have a decent amount of sustained possession.
Hans Dennison into the game for the first time. Sinclair bangs with Bennett. Now the ball loose. Bennett gets it back. Bennett fires his shot, deflected by the Comets into the corner. Renault is there. He pops it up into the air. Now comes back down again. Renault still going forward. Gasson can't find the handle and finally pounces on it for the Comets. KC has it with 7.5 to play in the first. Gasson, distribution out to Kyle Williams, but picked off by Santos. Santos draws the foul against Kyle Williams, and Milwaukee will have it.
So, Nick, last couple Comets home games, no blue cards called. I have a distinct feeling this game's going to be different. I'm going to be honest with you. That's 2 fouls on Andre Hayne, 2 fouls on Kyle Williams, 2 fouls on O'Dane Sinclair, 2 on Jonathan Lemos. We still got 7 minutes left in the first quarter here.
Liete with a wall pass. Renault, a drive and a save by Gasson. Almost a textbook Wallace scorer there, but a good save there by the Comet keeper. And a media timeout here for the Comets. Let's take a break here as we honor our veterans. Nice once again for the Comets to honor our veterans. Comets honoring Katie Gammons to the Domino's Defender Suite. Gammons joined the United States Air Force after she graduated in 2002 to become a communications computer specialist and stationed at Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. Katie, thank you for your service, and thank you for being here at the Kansas City Comets game. All right, let's see what happens here. It's a restart here as Leite's got it inside the yellow line. Leite darts to his left, then back to the right. Then we'll go far side to Ferdinand. Ferdinand shoots while almost falling down. Blocked by Braithwaite, back to Lemos.
Good job by the Comets. You're closing down space. You're not allowing those ISO players to get a lot of separation between the ball and them and their feet there.
Guerrero Pino able to win the ball from Renault to Williams. Kyle Williams puts on the brakes, now fires a long shot. Lemos makes the save, pounces on the rebound, and lays it off for Leite.
Great job by Kyle right there, but he probably could have found Milan instead of taking that shot himself, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Ferdinand's pass picked off by Pino. Pino rolled in the corner to Braithwaite, who rolled on top of it. Lemos able to get the rebound.
Lemos fortunate right there that Andre just mishit that ball.
Milwaukee leading 1-0 on a goal by Marcio Leite, his 6th on the year. Under 6 to play. Comets and Wave meeting for the 3rd time this season. Santos, his pass, knocked by Pino. Comets get a chance here. Here's Pino. A far side shot, goal! Game is tied! And it's the newcomer, Anthony Grant, with his 2nd goal on the season. And we're tied at 1.
Good execution by the Comets right there on the turnover. As you alluded to, Ferdinand's pass was short. Now you see Pino 100%, and the key here is Leo's going high on the top of your screen, creating separation, and what that does is he goes high initially, and then he cuts underneath Drew Ruggles. So Drew has to just make a decision, right? You either got to go stop ball, which he did, and that allowed Anthony Grant to be an option. If Drew had slid to the left, then Pino's going to play that ball to Leo Gibson, right? That's how you handle things when you got that type of transition break right there.
I take that back for Anthony. That is his first goal.
No, I believe he had
He had 1 in Cedar Rapids, didn't he?
I think he had 2 in Cedar Rapids. I think he had 2 goals and 1 assist in Cedar Rapids.
Okay, so for Anthony, his 3rd on the year. And for Pino, as the Comets come back the other way again, here's Sinclair banging it off the boards. And through the area it goes. Curiel is over there. His nickname is Chino. Curiel dancing all around Comet players. Kicks it away. Milan picks it up for Kansas City. Back to Braithwaite. Now Pat Kelly. 5 minutes to play in the first. Tied at 1.
Good job by Dane Sinclair. A turnover there. And what I like is the Comets, when the Wave are turning it over, they're not slowing it down. They're going as fast as they can right at him and making them have to defend.
Out of bounds off Milwaukee. Kansas City will have it. 4 minutes and 49 seconds left to play in the first. Nacho Flores, along with Milan, Guerrero Pino, Kyle Williams, Leo Gibson in there for the Comets. For Milwaukee, it's Josh Lemos in goal. Angel Curiel, Jonathan Santos, Drew Ruggles, Ian Bennett. Andre Hayne goes off, and Max Ferdinand comes on. Ricardinho comes back on also for Milwaukee. Here he is in the referee's crease. Forward it goes to Ferdinand, back to Ricardinho. Now Bennett. Bennett shoots. Bennett looking for the far post. Just missed it. Rebound stays with Milwaukee.
You know, Nick, you saw Ricardinho had that opportunity to shoot there, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, know your role, okay? Yep. Your role is you got Ian Bennett over there open. You might be open at the top of the arc there, but go ahead and play the MVP of the league, okay? Know your role.
Wall pass from Renault is gathered up by Gasson, but Ian Bennett having another MVP-type season. He finished 2nd. Now an own goal as the Comets get caught there in the last third. Believe that was Cody Hoffman, is that Cody Hoffman in the back there, or is that Milan? I think that's
Milan.
That's Milan, who had tried to kick the ball out of the last third. And it's going to go to Renault. Here it is again, bud.
Yeah, you know, Milan's a seasoned veteran. He knows better. You know, fundamentally, Nick, don't go back across your own goal, right? You know, the face of the goal right there. That's a situation where he's turning into a defender that's got, or into an opposing player that's got his momentum going 100% the other way. That's a spot where you turn outside, right? If you turn the ball over, you're doing it up against the wall.
Renault, his 13th goal on the year, and they're back at it again the other way.
Turned away by the Comets defenders.
Boy, a Wave player ended up in the Comets goal, and here come KC back the other way. Sinclair down the left side, tries to cut it in, slots it through to the middle, and it's kicked away there by Hans Dennison, and the Comet fans are wanting a foul or something as Anthony Grant is picked up there by Lemos.
I like Anthony Grant's energy level in this game, Nick. I remember I had told you, just kind of let him kind of get going here a little bit. He's a player, he's got a lot of energy. So you see him sprinting, you'll see him coming to right here. Boom. He's flying in.
Milwaukee foul number 77, Liete, his first.
You have to foul him because he's running, he's going to score right there.
All right, Comets have been working on restarts in practice this week. Let's see what they come up with, and they call timeout.
You know, what you saw right there, Nick, is from a personnel standpoint, you had Togba, that's a new player on the field.
Located just across
Lucas Rodriguez is on it. Andre, you know, you got kind of a group that, you know, Anthony Grant that's not as familiar with your sets. You call the timeout, get your group on there that you want.
modern comfort, urban convenience, and resort-style relaxation. Book your next stay at
Now, I will tell you some new additions here with the Comets that we're seeing. Cody Hoffman, who's been with the team here a little bit, been playing with Swope Park Rangers. Left-footed player, defender, good size. He's been training with the team the last few weeks. Got a little bit of a taste up in Cedar Rapids. Left-footed player. Coach Runfed loves these left-footed guys. James Togba, as you alluded to also as well, you know, from FC Wichita, has been training with the team. Now James is getting his first little taste. Again, left-footed player, another defender. Okay, so you've got some young guys in there, but now you've got Lucas Rodriguez, Carlos Trombini, Cody Hoffman, James Togba, all four lefties. You'll start to see, maybe not necessarily in this game, but in future games, you'll start to see those guys incorporated because those angles create a lot of mismatch problems.
Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos, live at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. 3:08 left to play in the first quarter. And just as you alluded to, Lucas is on the right post. Pino's on the left. Watch Trombini there, right at the top of your picture here. Milan. Now Gibson. Gibson again, shot just wide. Trombini plays it back to Gasson, who couldn't clear it. Gasson scrambling back. Santos is there. Centers it into the middle of the Comets. Able to head it away and avoid some danger for now. Santos goes off and Drew Ruggles comes on for the Wave. 2 minutes and 46 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. 2-1 Milwaukee.
Trombini's got to play that ball to the right foot of the goalkeeper, okay, because one, the goalkeeper's right-footed, but also the pressure's coming on the left side of the player, or a left side on the goalkeeper.
Hans Dennison to Lemos. Lemos through the defenders. Over to Liete. Liete forward to Andre Hain. The big Brazilian with a wall pass in the middle. Shot, goal! Classic Walla Scora. And it's now 3-1.
Lucas Rodriguez not following his player defensively right there. That's an easy goal for the Wave.
Here it again. There's Lucas. You can see top of your picture, Hain.
Wave goal scored number 76.
See the separation right there?
Yep. That's Liete who scores the goal, his second on the night, 7th on the year. And Hain with the assist. That is his 4th assist on the year.
4 seconds in the first quarter.
(3-1) Milwaukee. Again, Milwaukee 8-0 on the year. Comets called for a 3-line violation against Gasson. With a victory tonight, Milwaukee would set a record for most consecutive wins to start a season. One other game going on around the MASL tonight, and that is Cedar Rapids and St. Louis are playing, and that game is in the second quarter. No score between Cedar Rapids and St. Louis.
Congratulations to the St. Louis Ambush for finally getting off the schneid there. 22-game losing streak, I believe.
Big overtime victory. Here come the Comets. Kelly with a long drive looking for the far post. Just missed. Grable and the Wave trying to get it out of their last third. Comets with some high pressure here. Ferdinand marked by Togba. Ferdinand now draws a crowd. Leo Gibson is there. He wins it. He shoots it. Leo! He's a magician! Hammers it from downtown, and it's 3-2. Shazam!
You know what that looked like to me, Nick? That was a, I'm tired of not scoring goals. I'm just going to hit one right here.
Wow!
You see the look on Leo's face afterwards?
He's like, uh-huh.
Look at the body language by Leo Gibson after that.
By number 14, Leo.
Look at his body language right here. That's just going to work.
Going exactly exactly what I was going to say. Just going to work. This will be a great view.
No chance.
Wow.
No chance by Lemos. That's three-pointer back in the old days, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
We'd had a tie ball game here.
Well, that's Leo's 7th goal on the year. Leo is tied for second in the league with 13 assists to go along with his 7 goals. Comets within 1. 3-2. These two Central Division rivals, Milwaukee and Kansas City.
First quarter.
Milwaukee now wearing the target that the Comets have worn for the last 3 years. Milwaukee, one of 3 MASL teams undefeated. Ricardinho, wall pass into the middle. Kicked away, Santos all the way back to Lemos. 34 seconds left in the opening quarter. Lemos forward, it goes to Renault. Renault faces Hoffman of the Comets, and Renault's by Hoffman. Renault shoots and blocked by Nacho Flores of the Comets. Renault still going forward, and he's tripped up there by Nacho, and a foul called on KC.
Watching Coach Runbed's reaction after that foul with 21 seconds left in your defensive third, he's just furious with that. You're putting yourself in a super stressful situation. You're allowing the other team to set up offensively when the clock stops.
And Milwaukee is going to call a timeout, set something up here with 21.2 seconds left to play. Hey, Comets fans would like to thank
Miter.
Would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddleston, England, is among the world's oldest sporting good brands, starting production back in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of the Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL 2. A reminder here to get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure that you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram. And be sure to follow MASL Arena on Twitter. Wave 3, Comets 2. Kansas City will have another home game next weekend. They'll welcome in the Baltimore Blast to Silverstein Ice Center's arena. We haven't seen the Blast here in a while, and that should be a very interesting game, don't you think, Mr. Budzinski?
What a turnaround. Comets are playing on a Saturday night.
Yep.
The Baltimore Blast.
And
turning right around and playing Milwaukee Wave on New Year's Eve. A rested Milwaukee Wave. Coach Runfed said, who'd you upset there at the league office?
Here's Ferdinand behind the ball to Bennett. Bennett off the near glass, deflects out front, Ruggles back to Lemos.
Good job by the Comets right there. Now you got to be focused in the last 10 seconds here, Nick.
Here's Bennett with another drive in there, deflecting off the Comets' white jerseys. Now Ferdinand holds it with 6 seconds left. Ferdinand Tripped up by Kyle Williams. Now Ferdinand in the middle. Headed away by Leo Gibson as the horn sounds, and that will do it for the first 15 minutes of this one. Entertaining game between these two Central Division rivals. At the end of the first period, it is the Milwaukee Wave 3 and the Kansas City Comets 2. More action from Silverstein coming up. You're watching MASL TV. Great to have you along this holiday weekend. It's the Kansas City Comets and the Milwaukee Wave as we look live at Leo Gibson, the great Leo Gibson, here playing in Kansas City. Wherever you might be watching on MASL TV, great to have you here. Nick Vassos and Brian Budzinski as Leo Gibson tees up another one from 50 feet, and Lemos makes another save. How about that one he made in the first quarter there, Bud?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, the goal by Leo Gibson was fantastic. You know, and Lemos is paying a little bit more attention that time right there. He says, oh, hey, Leo's 25 feet out. I'm going to be ready for this.
And how big was the goal? And to make it 3-2 at the end of the first quarter?
Well, both the Wave and Comets had some opportunities, and neither had scored on. So you're sitting at 3-1, and really the Comets needed a goal to keep that game at a close range, and just from a confidence standpoint, too.
Here are the Comets. Kyle Williams with a chance there. Now Max Ferdinand is kind of directing his way through all kinds of Comet traffic. He'll leave it over to his teammate, Ian Bennett. He'll wait for some changes.
That ball's like Velcro on Ferdinand's foot. I love watching his game, man. I'll tell you, he is one of those guys that I am a fan of watching 100%. Him play. Just that little simple little cut, little soul roll, just vocabulary, what he's doing, directing everybody. He's a pro in this league, one of the top players.
Milwaukee's Santos forward to Hain. Hain marked by Pino of the Comets. Away from the goal. And a drive there by Santos into the left wing corner. Headed away, but taken down by Santos again. Jonathan Santos spent last year with Cedar Rapids, back with Milwaukee this year and leading them in shot blocks. Now here comes Curiel with a drive and bangs it in off the post. And the Wave take a 4-2 lead. Angel Curiel hits the far post.
Yeah, you're seeing, as a fan right now, what you're watching, it depends on how far we roll this thing back, you're going to see Pino is sitting too far deep, and Nacho leaves to go to pressure. So see right here, you got Grable with the ball, and look where Nacho is up here. And he's saying to Pino, hey, you got to step up there. And Pino's saying, hey, look right here. See Nacho? He's talking to him, and Pino's pointing over saying, Togba's got to be sliding in here in the middle. They're both right? Togba should be on that guy. Pino should be moved up on Chino there, right? But they're not talking, right? That starts with the goalkeeper. That starts with the backs. And you got a new guy in Togba in there, and he's, it's his first game, and against a polished squad, that's what you're going to have, those types of mix-ups, if you will.
So Curiel, he nets his first goal of the season. Meanwhile, at the other end, Leo Gibson and Pat Kelly are there, applying some pressure to the last line for Milwaukee. Lemos kicks it up towards the half line. Cody Hoffman able to put a boot on it there. Hoffman back to Rodriguez. Hoffman will go off, and Milan Ivanovic will come on. Across the half line. Whoops, then it goes underneath Sinclair's foot all the way back to Gasson. Comets 2-5. They are 1-4 over their last 5. Milwaukee a perfect 8-0, one of 3 teams in the league undefeated. San Diego 7-0. The Monterey Flash 8-0. Here's Curiel once again, or Chino, as his teammates call him. Forward, looking for Gibson. Now Vega. Vega tried once, and then his second attempt is able to get it across the line, but right to a Comet player. Sinclair forward to BP. Now to Gibson, shot, goal! Leo Gibson gets the Comets once again to within 3, and he hit the far post again.
Yeah, good job by the Comets capitalizing on the turnover right there, and then it's a nice little simple tiki-taka between BP and Leo right there. And if you're Jonathan Lemos, what are you going to do? You got Leo Gibson sitting in the corner here. So you see O'Dane goes early. That's a great ball and great run by Brian Perez. And now he gets the quality touch, gets it under control. Nothing Rampa can do, right? Rampa has to stop ball, which he did on BP, and then BP plays the ball off, and then Jonathan Lemos is 1v1 with Leo Gibson.
Perez, he picks up his 9th assist on the year, and again for Leo, his 8th goal of the season, his 2nd on the night. 4-3 Milwaukee with 11:38 left to play in the first half. Now a loose ball. Ricardinho with a drive off the near post, no good. Gasson had to come off his line. Braithwaite in the left wing corner with a pair of fluorescent jerseys around him, and he draws the foul against Hain, and the Comets will have it.
A pair? Seemed like a triple right there. You got Hain, you got meat on meat, you got Andre Braithwaite, Andre Hain, you got the Andres, right? You could be calling Andre the Giants. You got those guys, and Ferdinand. Great job by Andre Braithwaite right there.
More hands on him than a prom date, right?
There you go.
Flores up to the half line. Couldn't be settled there by Braithwaite. Max Ferdinand gets it back. His pass to the near side of Santos picked off by the Comets. Braithwaite is there once again in the corner. This time the ball squirts towards Gasson, and he pounces on it for Kansas City. Here's Rodriguez. Togba. Togba forward to Gibson. Leo with a pair. Leo soul rolls it, combs it away from the goal. Now back to Togba. Forward.
Excuse me, Nick. Togba's got a nice little quiet confidence to his game. He's in a rookie game, MASL rookie against the Milwaukee Wave, undefeated at home. He's got a nice confidence to his game.
Indeed. Kyle Williams has got it. And guy we're talking about, Togba, with a low screamer to the low right corner. Lemos had to range to his left here, just a little off target. Chipped forward. Ricardinho heads it to Bennett. Bennett shoots and a save, and then off the line brilliantly. Is that Togba? That was Togba you were just talking about, and what a tremendous defensive play.
22 years old, by the way, Nick, just in case you want to know. 22 years old.
Oh my, if we could get, there it is. Look at this, bud. Casey got a piece of it, and Togba was able to keep it from crossing the line. Amazing.
Yeah, the initial tracking back, right, to prevent the early shot, that's great hustle, and then he follows the play all the way back. Ian Bennett takes it well, right? I mean, Ian chips it to a nice little place, expecting, hey, I'm going to add to my 57th goal through 7 games, and then all of a sudden here comes this 22-year-old kid bicycle kicking the ball out of the back of the net. You know, the Comets have got some young, exciting players, and it's going to be interesting to see how they develop. You know, this is a big match right here, and it's 4-3. But some of these young guys are looking good, obviously.
So big for the Comets side to keep this a 1-goal game right now. So important for Togba to get that good defensive play there to keep the score where it is now. Clock is rolling. Under 10 to play in the first half. Wave 4, Comets 3. Milwaukee starting out with 8 straight wins this season. A win here tonight would be a new record. That would eclipse the 05-06 Milwaukee Wave team.
What was the Missouri Comets record, Nick, for undefeated games?
Kind of pales in comparison to that 20 straight that we reeled off there. It was more than that at one point, wasn't it?
We'll have to check with Brian Holland on that thing.
Yeah,
or
good.
Jeff
To our historian. Historian, we need you to weigh in, because I think it was a combined from the previous year as well.
I want to say it was like 23 or so.
Yeah. All right, here's Kyle Williams. Out front. Now Perez. Ryan Perez. We're going to go 3 lines with Perez coming up at halftime. Little interview segment that fans here at Silverstein are going to get to see. Now Gibson still banging away out front. Nobody able to pounce on the loose ball. And Ruggles able to clear it away.
See that move by Gibson on the boards right there on Ian Bennett? Those little games, man. I love those little games between those guys.
Boy, everybody is upset. Both the Comets coaching staff and the Wave coaching staff. No one's happy.
Kansas foul number 12, Sinclair, his second of the half.
32 games is the consecutive win streak. That's mind-boggling. 32 straight wins by the Comets.
We were here the whole time. Where am I coming up with 23 at?
I don't know.
Shortchanging it, us.
Here's Liete. Now Ruggles tees one up.
Great job by Kyle Williams right there, being tight on Liete, not letting him get anywhere. So then Liete's got to play the ball off.
Media timeout. Let's take a break here. 7:53 left to play in the opening half. Wave 4 and the Comets 3. I don't know if you were at home, you were able to hear that. I hope you were.
Sometimes, these guys we got players from Chile, Jamaica, England, Brazil, and just to listen to how they talk is fantastic.
I tell you, Nacho Flores is one of the most delightful kids you want to be around. He loves life. He loves singing. Now Anthony Grant. Not a lot of pace on that one in there. Lemos couldn't get a handle on it. Milwaukee trying to clear it. Comets are going to hold on to it. Pino, Ivanovic are going to stay on here. New legs for the Comets. Okay, now they've got Nacho, Pino, Braithwaite, Ivanovic, and Kelly out there for the Comets. Here's Braithwaite. And the big fella goes down like a tree in the forest. And a foul called on Milwaukee. Curiel chopped down Braithwaite.
Milwaukee foul number 28, Curiel, his second of the half.
That's his second. Restart KC. Braithwaite with the cannon off the two-man wall. Ouch. And the Comets will have it on the near touchline.
You gotta be a brave man. Brave soul to stand on that wall right there. I could have told you Andre was taking that the whole time. That's one where if you're an older guy, you're like, hey, young kid, come stand on the wall over here.
Nete. Out wide, Santos shoots. Save, Gasson. That one was a kick save. The clearance almost taken away by Ferdinand. Going to have a foul called on Curiel against Pat Kelly. Curiel, that's his third. He'll have to be careful here before the end of the first half.
And we might see if we can get a look back at that. The lead or the official closest to that play did not call it. Head of officials, Ryan Sigich, across the field made that call, and Pat was obviously struck in the head. You see right here on the replay. Yeah.
Oh, yep. All right, back to action here. Here's Kelly. Kelly's with the left-footed drive above the crossbar. Comes off to Gibson, who powers it back in there looking for Nacho. Foul called on Curiel. He just picked up his fourth. That's 4 fouls on Curiel. That's going to be that'll be a penalty. 2 minutes. Comets are going to go on the power play here. So Curiel goes off. And the Comets are going to have a man advantage here. And in terms of special teams, the Comets on power plays this year, well, a paltry 17% on power plays, 2 for 12. Milwaukee, on the other hand, has only allowed 2 power play goals in 18 man-down situations. They're 89% effective on penalty killing. Gibson. To Nacho. To Kyle Williams. Now front and center, Nacho. Left side, Rodriguez to Gibson. Now Perez. Perez looking for Flores. Flores, left footer, looking far post. Cleared away by Milwaukee. Kansas City trying to find a loose ball.
Set piece wasn't very good even to start that off right there, Nick. You're 5v4, and there wasn't even a shot on goal.
Really tentative for the Comets early on here on this first power play. Left side, Rodriguez into Gibson. To Perez, one-touch shot, goal! That one ricocheted in, and the Comets have it tied at 4. So much for stats, right? They're for losers. Comets connect here, and the game is even.
Yeah, that's a situation right there where Chino's really, his play is kind of costing his own team. I love the little heel flick by Leo Gibson right there, Nick. And then BP takes that early, and what I like is where BP's, yes, the ball's deflected going in, but BP's shot on purpose here is to Kyle Williams. Look at a little heel flick by Leo. And then see Kyle Williams at the top of your screen, Nick, he's creeping in. BP's shooting over there anyways. So even if the deflection doesn't go in, chances are the ball's going to make it over to Kyle Williams. He's going to tap it in for a bunny. It's a good backdoor breakdown, even if it didn't score that way.
All right, at the other end, Ricardinho is there. The Comets kick it away. And over the glass. So Milwaukee's got it here. 5 minutes and 24 seconds left to play in the first half. Yep, brand new game for all here. And what a first half it's been here between Milwaukee and Kansas City. Here's Lemos. Comets sitting back defensively here. Players here. By the way, Brian Perez netting his 7th goal on the season. Here's Lemos inside the Comets. Yellow line, he shoots! And Lemos scores! Oh my! The keeper from Milwaukee gives the Wave a 5-4 lead. Oh, that hurts the Comets, but celebration in Milwaukee right now. Wow.
It's too casual by the Comets in general. Togba's slow to rotate over there because he's like, well, it's a keeper, so you're kind of devaluing what he can you know how dangerous he is. But you know, if you're playing in this league, okay, you can play, right? So Togba's got to get over and rotate faster there. The other part is the Comets are sitting back after they've just scored a bunch of consecutive goals. You know, flip the crowd back the other way. Don't sit and wait for things to come to you. Go take them yourself.
Go. Here's Kelly. Battle for it on the near boards. Kelly gets it back for the Comets. Kelly will play it to Hoffman. The Comets will reset their offense. Hold the ball. Here's Lucas. Those fluorescent jerseys converge on the ball. A whistle and a foul called against Milwaukee. And Dennison called for the foul. Coming up on 4 minutes to play. 5-4 Wave over the Comets. Pino trying to dart inside Ferdinand. Guerrero Pino stiff arms Ferdinand away. And then Hans Dennison goes down, and Pino's called for the foul.
Number 6, Pino, is first of the half.
That's Guerrero's first of the half. Hans Dennison from Finland, Guerrero Pino from Parral, Mexico. Pino's been playing the indoor game since he was about 4 years old. Playing indoor and outdoor ever since he was just a child. Lemos into the corner for Ferdinand. Ferdinand marked by Pino of the Comets. Ferdinand's pass picked off there by Anthony Grant. Grant trying to use those wheels of his. Now crosses into the middle. Fakes a shot. Leaves it for Gibson. Leo's got a pair tonight. Back to Ivanovic. Now left side Sinclair. Leo will try the left wing corner this time. Leo still moving, shoots, and just wide. Boy, Leo is feeling it tonight. Liete forward to Ferdinand. Ferdinand, shot, goal! Ferdinand to Liete. And Liete has the hat trick, and the Wave are back to a 2-goal lead.
I'll be honest, Nick, I was watching that play right there, and I said to myself the whole entire time, it's 2v3, right? Okay, so it's 2 Wave players versus 3 Comets players. One, you're not supposed to score in that in general, but here, look at this rotation. Okay, so Ferdinand's got the ball. Neither Milan O'Dane or Leo Gibson, right? All 3 of them are just straight running back. Okay, all 3 guys are. None of them as a group are sorting anything out. Okay, one player has to go over to Ferdinand on the left side. The other player has to stay with Liete in the middle right there. And then the other one could just cover or provide coverage or balance. But no matter what, a 2v3, you should not get scored on. That's just poor communication amongst 3 guys that, let's be honest, Nick, Leo Gibson, O'Dane Sinclair, and Milan Ivanovic. Those guys shouldn't be doing that there.
Those are experienced players who have been through. It's not their first rodeo. Milwaukee does knock it out of bounds. It does give the Comets an opportunity here. 2.5 to play. Spot at the top of the arc here. Ivanovic, Ivanovic. Trombini took that one. Kick back towards the half line. Gibson turns back the other way. Shot. Just wide. Gibson again fires it back in there. Renault and the Wave trying to clear it out. Almost lost the handle again. Gasson comes off his line, and KC boots it out of bounds. It'll allow Comets to get off the field and reset with some players.
You can now earn Domino's reward points online, in person, or over the phone. Domino's, official pizza partner, and
Ferdinand now with 13 assists on that last goal by Liete. Under 2 to play. Wave out shooting the Comets 9-5 so far. They have a 2-goal lead. Stuart Grable back there with the ball. Here's Lemos, the Toronto, Ontario native. Over to Grable. Lemos looking for his 9th win. He leads the league with 8 victories. That's 2 more than second place goalkeeper. Now Ferdinand. Had it taken away by Nacho, who's cut down. And a penalty is coming up against Milwaukee.
A really dangerous foul by Ian Bennett right there. So Nacho's got the ball clear here. Straight to the back of the leg. It's a bad foul. I'm going to be honest with you, Nick. The player's completely in front of you, and you're stiff legging him in his calf. It's a bad foul.
So Bennett goes off, and the Comets on the power play. It's their second opportunity. 1 for 1 so far tonight. Again, Comets coming into tonight's game, just 17% on the power play, and Milwaukee coming into tonight, killing off 89% of those shorthanded times when they're down. Here's Gibson. Rodriguez over the top. A header by Flores. Good defense there by Milwaukee to knock it away. 45 seconds left to play in the first half. Now Rodriguez. Here's Gibson. Right side Perez. Corner to Nacho. Back to Brian Perez, through the hole, then give and go out front. Kyle Williams tried to slot it through to Nacho. Wave kick it back out. Perez with 22 seconds left on the clock, and it's knocked out of bounds off of Milwaukee. Comets are going to keep it here with 21.3 seconds left to play in the first half. It'll be a restart here for the Comets in the right wing corner. Coach Kim puts Nacho behind the ball. And to Perez, who hit it first time, and that one just above the crossbar. Shot by Gibson goes wide. And a foul called on Nacho. Costly foul with 13.2 seconds left in the first half. It'll give the ball back to Milwaukee here. And Milwaukee should be able to kill a good portion of the 13.2 seconds left here in the first half. Lemos kicked it long. Got tangled up with Kyle Williams for a moment. Now the ball loose again. Lemos off his line to his left. Horn sounds, and that'll do it for the first half. The Comets will be on the power play to begin the third quarter, but they'll head into the locker rooms trailing by 2. We're standing by here to check in with the Comets head coach, Kim Runford. Let's go to Jeff Husted, who's with the head coach right now. No, we're going to hear from assistant coach Jeff Davis with Jeff Houston.
All right, we're checking with Jeff Houston with a coach interview here for halftime. Jeff.
Thanks, Nate. I'm here with assistant coach Jeff Davis. It's been a good Milwaukee, Kansas City battle this first half. I've seen a lot of aggressiveness. What did you say to the players before we came out today? Just we have to play aggressive. We have to play hard. This is a very good Milwaukee team. And you're seeing it on the field. Now, we go into halftime down by a couple goals, but there's some positives to take out of it. Some really good aggressive offense and a scoring power play goal, which Milwaukee is the best penalty kill in the league. What's been the difference? We're moving the ball quickly. We've got to keep moving the ball quickly. We've got 44 seconds left on this power play. It's a big power play for us to come out in the second half. All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back second half with on the power play. Thanks, Coach.
All right, Jeff Houston and Jeff Davis, assistant coach for the Comets, down there at halftime. So this early part of the third quarter, when the Comets come back out on the field here with 44 seconds left of power play time, is going to be critical. You really feel like you got to get some point here with Milwaukee leading by 2 goals here when they come out of the locker rooms.
Yeah, I mean, overall, when you're looking at the thing, yes, the coming out in the second half, being on a power play, you got to score. You probably should have scored right there before half to go in down 6-5. The Waves start out with the ball, okay, at second half. I'm sure Coach Giuliano Oliviero will have some sort of play drawn up. It'll just be a matter of how long they can maintain possession, and kill down the power play.
All right, that's Brian Budzinski. I'm Nick Vassos. We'll take a break here for halftime, and when we come back, we will have third quarter action here. Glad you're with us from Silverstein Ice Center's Arena at the half. Milwaukee 6 and the Comets 4. You're watching Major Arena Soccer League.
Our facilities are literally better than any facilities in the United States. Congratulations to all of you who have made Heartland Soccer the largest league in the United States.
Good work, good job.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
And back inside Silverstein Ice Center's arena, alongside Brian Butzinski, I'm Nick Vassos. Our director tonight is Devron Brower. We thank him and the rest of the crew here at Silverstein Ice Center's arena for their help here in creating this great broadcast here. Comets trailing Milwaukee 6-4, but they're going on the power play here to start out the third quarter. And this next goal is going to be very, very important in this game. Let's see what happens here.
I'm interested to see what the two coaches come out with right here. How long the Wave can kill this power play off the kickoff.
Wave have the advantage here as they have the ball to begin the third quarter. 36 seconds left on the advantage. Renault able to slide between two Comet defenders. Over to Grable. Grable able to play it back to Renault. Now Liete. Boy, the Wave doing a good job here to start out the third quarter. Comets finally able to head it away. Anthony Grant able to settle it. Maybe the Comets can get one good look here on the power play. 12 seconds left on the advantage. Here's Perez. Left side Rodriguez. Now Brian Perez. Here's Leo. Down to the corner from Leo to Nacho. Flores in the corner. Penalty is over. Ian Bennett comes back out. Both teams are at even strength, so Milwaukee kills the penalty, and the score remains 6-4, Wave over the Comets. Here's Perez. Leaves it for Williams. Williams away from the goal to Lucas Rodriguez. Now right side Nacho. Comets 2-5. Milwaukee 8-0. Kyle Williams in the corner. Now to Nacho Flores. Over to Perez. Brian Perez. Back to Leo. Now Leo to Nacho. To Rodriguez. And the Comets with some good possession here, although Leo's pass went right to a Milwaukee player in Renault.
So, Nick, right off the half, tip your cap to the Milwaukee Wave. Their execution of the penalty kill compared to the Comets' lack of ability to get to possession. The Comets did not get the ball until 16 seconds were left in the power play.
Comets here on the counter. Here's Perez in the corner. Chased by Ruggles. Now help from Santos. Perez goes down. Everybody plays on. Comets dig it out. Gibson's got it. Now Pino. Comets looking for their first win here at home. Their last win came on December the 8th against Tacoma. 7-5 victory. Ivanovic with a drive goes up and over the glass. Look out, fans. Leo Gibson jogging off the field right now. One of the Comets' all-time greats, Leo Gibson from Monrovia, Liberia. His wife is in law school. Vega up to Renault. Now over to Chino. Chino picked up 4 fouls in the first half, and that sent the Comets on the power play, where they capitalized. That last penalty was against Bennett for tripping, and the Comets ended up coming up empty there. Now Braithwaite. Braithwaite a drive. Braithwaite has a really strong shot. Renault. Renault shot. Renault scores. And it's 7-4. Big goal by Milwaukee. And the Canadian gives the Wave a 3-goal lead.
So, Nick, depending on how far we go back on this replay, you see it here at the end, but O'Dane Sinclair, his angle initially, when the ball goes to Renault, creates that situation. And then so Renault is able to just accelerate out of it. Now O'Dane's running straight back to the center, and he's expecting the other defender to switch over to Renault. But O'Dane shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. His angle was poor.
Curiel the assist. Renault the goal. His second on the night. His 14th on the year. And for Curiel, that is his 3rd assist on the season. Out front again, Bennett was there. That one deflected wide by Gasson. "7-4, Wave on top of the Comets. Ahead to Grable. Grable's got space, and Grable hammers it home. That's going to go for Stuart Grable as he hit one from downtown. It's now 8-4, and that's a big goal. The floodgates may have opened here with 11:09 left to play in the 3rd.
Yeah, it might be a good time for a timeout to get these guys organized. I mean, coming out of the half, one team came out of the half. The other one still hasn't arrived yet.
Stuart Grable coming up with his first goal on the year. Had an assist also in the first half. So 1 goal and 2 assists on the year for Stuart Grable, and it's now 8-4, and the Comets lose it again. And a foul called on Kyle Williams. Frustration starting to show for the Comet side.
Well, and there's a microcosm of it right there. You see the ball that Milan plays to Kyle Williams. I mean, it's behind Kyle, so it's a hospital ball. So Kyle's having to fight off Santos just to get it. That's just coming out flat-footed. And look at the space right here that Viega's got coming off the ball there. No communication by the Comets whatsoever.
Kinsey Mel, number 11, Williams, his 2nd of the half.
Lemos had to turn it loose, gets it up to Hain. It bounces over the dasher boards, touched out of bounds by Pino. If the Comets here can just dig in and hold on here for the last part of the 3rd, perhaps they can chip away at the Wave lead. But they can't get frustrated, and they got to keep working. Milwaukee content to work it around the perimeter. Down to Hans Dennison. Hans on the doorstep. Ball still loose. Now Liete looking to get it over to Ferdinand. Ferdinand front and center Liete. Liete steps over it. Nutmegs another Comet player and then slots it through at an impossible angle. It's 9-4. Liete, his 4th goal on the night. And the Wave lead 9-4.
Yeah, I said you might want to get a timeout after the 3rd goal. I think after the 4th, you definitely got to get a timeout here. I mean, you can't come out flatter to start out the 2nd half.
3 straight by the Wave. Renault, Grable, now Liete. And Ferdinand with the assist, and that is Ferdinand's 14th on the year. Timeout called by Kansas City.
You know, you've got, Nick, the power play kill, or I should say, the Wave's got the ball to start out the 2nd half, okay? And so you've got the group on there. You've got some speed players, okay, for the Comets with Pat Kelly, Anthony Grand, etc. And the point is to try to get possession back as quick as possible. The Wave comes out with an organized set play, okay, right? It's a set play that they do that's off the ball, and there's 2 guys that check to it. So now they're able to, you know, hold possession, and they kill that thing all the way down to 16 seconds. And what told me that the Comets weren't ready to go in the 2nd half is when they got the ball back, the line was slow to change. Okay, Leo Gibson didn't get onto the field until 8 seconds were left. So it took 8-9 seconds for even the full power play lineup to even get on the field. So that kind of tells me, hey, maybe we're not all on the same page. And then it's deflating as a player when you don't even get any possession on a power play, right? It's deflating. And then your head goes down, and then now look what happens. Now you've given up 3 goals. There's 10 minutes still left in the 3rd quarter.
That's the story here from Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Comets trail by 5 goals now. Milwaukee trying to cement their 9th straight victory to start the season. That would be a new franchise record for the Wave. That would beat the 05-06 Milwaukee Wave team that did it during that season. Milwaukee Wave, one of the favorites in the Eastern Conference this year. Lemos forward to Drew Ruggles. Ruggles across the field to Angel Curiel. Chino is on the back of his jersey. Lemos with a pass up to Chino. Intercepted by the Comets. Sinclair on up to Anthony Grant. Grant and Curiel chase the ball into the corner. Ian Bennett with a boot on it, away from the Wave goal. Togba there for the Comets. Here's Leo as the Comets push forward on their offense. Gibson over the top of the defense to Pat Kelly in the right wing corner. Grable and Ruggles converge on him. Now the ball loose out front, and Curiel boots it towards the Comets side of the field. Remember to get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the third. Wave 9 and the Comets 4. Foul called on Kansas City. Ferdinand with all kinds of space. Back to Ferdinand. And Gasson kicks it away. A lot of space there given to the Milwaukee side by Comet defenders. Kansas City able to wrestle it free. Rodriguez, who is not feeling well coming into tonight's game, has played a lot. That sickness has been going around everywhere. Now the Comets come up. Here's 3v1. Pino over to Kelly. Shot. No good. Here's Gibson on the rebound. Now Nacho out front, perhaps with a chance, but Liete clears it away.
All right, so Nick, let me make a little point here for you. Comets give up a goal, 2v3 defending, right? 2 Milwaukee players are offensive, 3 Comets players are defensive. Lack of communication, they give up a goal. Comets right there, 3v1 situation. Do not score a goal right there. You want to nitpick things, that's where you're that's your game right there. Okay, is you're giving up a goal when you shouldn't be giving up a goal, and then you're not scoring a goal when you should be. Sometimes it's just that simple.
Yep. Clock rolling, under 7 now to play in the third. About halfway through the third quarter, and a volley shot by Gibson rattles the cage to the right. If there's been one bright spot, it's been Leo Gibson tonight. He's been very close. He's got 2 tallies tonight, but he's been close on several others. Keep feeding Leo. Ivanovic. Now Gibson. Ivanovic again. Ivanovic into the middle to Kyle Williams. And Kyle Williams made contact with Lemos, who's shaken up on the play. 6 minutes left on the clock. Looks like Kyle Williams may have kicked the midsection of Josh Lemos. I don't know if he got him below the belt or if he got him in the solar plexus. I can't tell. Look at Leo Gibson. Looks like Lemos going to be all right. That's a good sign. Gibson. Now Ruggles from the half line. Hans Dennison. Anthony Grant back to Gasson. Casey's pass kicked out of bounds by Ruggles. And immediate timeout with 5:29 left to play in the third. Let's step aside. Milwaukee 9 and the Comets 4. You're watching MASL TV. Tonight's game brought to you by Domino's. Get a large 3-topping carry-out pizza from Domino's every day of the week for just $7.99. You can now earn Domino's rewards points online, in person, or over the phone. Domino's, the official pizza partner and the title sponsor of the Kansas City Comets. 5:29 left to play as we look at Casey Gasson, the Comets keeper, who comes in with a record of 2-3. He's making his 6th start of the year. Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos. Live at Silverstein. Comets looking for a 3rd win on the year. They've got a steep hill to climb, folks. Milwaukee is at the top of the mountain in the Central as well as in the Eastern Conference. Their record 8-0. The Wave are wearing the bullseye this year. Here's Renault with a drive out front, making the bid for the hat trick. Liete's got 4 on the night. Renault's got a pair. Gasson. A good ball out to Braithwaite. Braithwaite spins around Vega. And the fluorescent jerseys take it away from the big fella. Renault gets it back. Then Renault lost it. Kelly still going forward. Pat Kelly. Try to get it over to Braithwaite, and then Braithwaite knocks down Hans Dennison. Foul called on Andre.
So the Comets come out right off the timeout there, Nick, and they can't even make 2 passes, right? Togba plays the ball to Pino, and then Pino plays the ball to Anthony Grant. It's a turnover, and then you're going back and defending. You should be able to, right when you come, especially when you come right off the bat from a timeout, you shouldn't be turning the ball over on your 3rd pass.
Sinclair. Togba. Flores. 3rd quarter here. 4 minutes left. Sinclair's pass stolen by Bennett, and then he's chopped down by Sinclair of the Comets. And Kansas City once again will get back and defend.
Again, O'Dane's got the ball. O'Dane turns the ball over. O'Dane has to foul the player to stop Ian Bennett. It's called unenforced errors, Nick. And then your goalkeeper kicks the ball out of bounds with no pressure on him, and then you got a top-of-the-arc restart.
These are the reoccurring plays that we've seen so far this season.
And I apologize, Nick, if I don't sound like I'm in holiday spirit, but it's, you know, at a certain point in time, you got to stop creating your own problems. The Milwaukee Wave's a good enough team as it is to not be giving them all these extra chances because you can't keep control of the ball.
Ferdinand. Now Liete to Ruggles. And a goalkeeper distribution coming up for the Comets with 3:58 left to play. Yeah, and Comets fans, so, I mean, let's be real here. Over the last, 4 years, 3-4 years, Comets fans have come to expect the standard. This year is a different year. We all know that. We've come to expect that. Milwaukee is a team that has talent, experience, and they have depth. And it shows out on the field. So the Comets are going to have to overcome this. They're getting better, and they will get better.
Hanson foul number 16, Braithwaite, his second of the half.
Braithwaite whistled for the foul. There's Marcio Liete. It's just not fair sometimes. You got a healthy Marcio Liete to go along with all the other weapons that Milwaukee has. Liete's got 4 goals on the night tonight. The Sergipe Brazilian forward to Max Ferdinand. Ferdinand with all kinds of space. Shot, goal! They went through the Comet defense like melted butter there, and it's now 10-4.
As I said earlier, Nick, one team came out at halftime. The other team hasn't yet still.
Ferdinand here now has 3 assists on the night, unofficially. And for Drew Ruggles, that is his 5th goal on the year. It is 10-4 with 3:33 left to play in the third, just the third quarter. And there's a giveaway, another giveaway by the Comets, this time from Sinclair. Up to Renault. Renault, and then Sinclair comes back and shoves Renault down. Comets back the other way. Here's Anthony Grant, tees one up. That one goes over the glass. Lemos will have it on the distribution here. We'll lean over here, and I know Jeff Husted is watching the Cedar Rapids St. Louis game. Maybe we can get a score of that contest in St. Louis tonight. That's the only other game around the MASL. Togba nearly gave it away to Bennett. Forward it comes down to Grable. Now the Comets get it back. Here's Grant. Fires it, and Lemos pins it up against the boards. Then underhands out to Bennett. 2.5 to play in the third. Why not? Milwaukee can afford to churn the clock here. Bennett plays it back to Lemos, then forward to Hans Dennison, but it goes to Pino of the Comets. Now up to Nacho. Forward to Pat Kelly. Let's see if the Comets here can get at least 1 goal here in the third. It has been all Milwaukee opening up here in the second half. 4 goals by the Wave. Renault, Grable, Liete, Ruggles. Under 2 to play, and here's Gibson into Nacho. Now Togba. Pino. Togba's pass, picked off by Santos. Ferdinand gets it up to Ruggles. Ruggles' pass kicked out of bounds by Kyle Williams. He'll stay with Milwaukee. Milwaukee, his last 5 games, 2 wins over Kansas City, a win over St. Louis, 1 over Tacoma, actually 2 over St. Louis and 1 over Tacoma. So 2 wins over St. Louis, 2 over Kansas City,
1 minute remaining in the third quarter.
And another over Tacoma in their last 5. Sinclair emerges from all the fluorescent jerseys over to Anthony Grant. Santos stepped in to win the ball from Anthony Grant. Under a minute to play. Here's Hain. Out wide to Liete. Liete shoots. And a save is made by the 6th attacker, Lucas Rodriguez. They pulled Casey Gasson here in the third. 6th attackers out there for the Comets. Here's Braithwaite by a player. Braithwaite still going forward. Braithwaite hits the deck. That was not a penalty. Braithwaite tried to draw it. 12 seconds left in the third. Rodriguez over to the far side to Perez. 4 seconds left, a long drive just wide. Horn sounds, and mercifully the third quarter comes to an end. All Milwaukee. Goals by Renault, Grable, Liete, and Ruggles give the Wave a 10-4 lead as we go into the fourth quarter. We will take a break. You're watching the Comets and the Wave on MASL TV on YouTube.
Hi there, Comets fans. Nick Vassos, voice of the Comets, and we are joined now by Comets midfielder Brian Perez. Are you ready to go 3 lines?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this here. Okay, Brian, first thing we're going to ask you here, we're now getting into the colder months here of winter time, and your home country of Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very warm, and it's very beautiful. Could you suggest a beautiful vacation area in Costa Rica, maybe somewhere on the Guanacaste coast? What do you think?
Oh, yes. I mean, all those parts by that coast. My favorite is called Jaco.
Jaco, okay.
Jaco, beautiful beach because you have different type of waves you can watch and surf. Or
surfing is great. Do you
I know. I wish. I know. No surfing. No. But the sand is different styles. It's different. It's beautiful, to say the least.
I've been to a city in Costa Rica called Tamarindo. Are you familiar with that?
Tamarindo, yeah.
And not too far from there is where they have the turtles.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. It's great city. You know, obviously with the different species and great place.
Your family moved from Costa Rica. You moved to Florida, and then eventually you made your way as a college player to UMKC here in Kansas City and played for Coach Rick Benben.
Yeah.
You hold so many records at UMKC for goals, points, starts, 78 games here.
Yeah.
What made you such a success, do you think, playing there at UMKC?
You know what? I mean, I was just. It was a good years, just dedicated. My body didn't hurt. It felt young, and it felt, like I was fit. It was good times. Obviously, I had great teammates and great coach that kind of gave me the support that I needed.
Yeah, and of course, we know about Coach Benben and his years in indoor soccer in the 80s here in Kansas City. Did he help you in the transition into professional indoor soccer?
Absolutely. He gave me advice, and he helped me, and he said that he gave me the biggest part was the confidence. Just to just come out and play what I know how to do. So.
And you've made Kansas City your home over the last couple of seasons, and your family has grown. How excited are you for your family?
Yeah, unbelievable. I'm gonna have another son, and another kid is a son. I have a daughter. There's 3 years old, and they love Kansas City, and we love Kansas City. So.
Brian Perez, thank you so much for going 3 lines with the best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm excited to do all of this stuff. Learn more about the players. Get this out here. I mean, that's. Yeah, it did. I mean, like HD wise. Yeah, it's a great camera he's got.
All right, fourth quarter about to begin. Comets fans, still a lot of time left in this game.
And we're back for the fourth quarter here. Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos. Comets and Wave here, meeting for the third time this season. Wave with a 10-4 lead as we begin the fourth quarter. And Lucas Rodriguez still out there as the sixth attacker. Coach Kim Runfed inserting the sixth attacker with about 2 minutes left in that third quarter. So stayed out there, the Comets able to get a sixth attacker goal to trim the Waves' lead to just 5 now. And it looks like Pino got the goal there.
kept knocking on the door, a couple opportunities right there. You know, I like the idea of the sixth attack early in the thing, because what you're going to do is you're going to make the other team defend. It's a good take by Milan. Pino's first shot doesn't hit it, but nice awareness by Brian Perez. Pino stays with the ball and finishes it. You know, listen, Nick, okay, 15 minutes is your quarter. You score 45 seconds in. You're still down by 5, but as soon as you get possession back here, you go back with the sixth attacker again with Lucas Rodriguez, and then you just make the other team defend you.
So Pino with his third on the year. And for Brian Perez, his 10th assist. Still a 5-goal bulge by Milwaukee. Kansas City's got a lot of wood to saw here to get back into this one. Nacho. Sinclair. Braithwaite with a drive. Andre with the cannon just wide to the left.
I liked how Anthony Grant right there got the possession, allowed Casey Gasson to get off the field and Lucas Rodriguez to get back on the field as the sixth attacker. You know, the Comets are just unfortunate that ball went out of bounds and allowed the restart to happen for the Wave.
You saw there Coach Kim putting Casey Gasson back into the game.
So your chess match, Nick, and what we're watching here is how long can the Wave keep the ball until the Comets get it back and are allowed to bring the sixth attacker on. So now, Wave just went down, Ferdinand turned the ball over, rinse, recycle, repeat, sixth attacker on. How long does it take you to score now your next goal? Or do you even score, right? So now you're 6v5, and that's kind of your chess match to watch here for the fourth quarter.
So Rodriguez back out there again. Pino using the wall to get it to Gibson. Now over to Perez. And then far post, Williams, back to Pino, runs up on it. Stead will not take it, give it back to Lucas. Over to Leo, into Kyle Williams. Now Perez with a drive, looking far post, no good. Kyle, and then off his line, Lemos is there. And then knocked out of bounds off of Kansas City. Rodriguez will go off and Gasson will come back on.
Good job by both teams right there. Comets had some good opportunities. Wave defended it well. It's just good execution right there from both squads.
Final frame here at Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Here's a shot by Renault. And Renault and Gasson get tangled up, and a penalty is coming up. Gasson went down hard. Hopefully Casey's all right. There's a third player involved there in O'Dane Sinclair. And it looks like Casey's going to be all right. Everybody's going to be okay, and that is the good news. But a penalty is coming up here, and let's see who it's going to go against. Here's the replay.
Penalty is going to be against O'Dane, so O'Dane's coming in late here.
Oh, yeah.
Last man. Oof, it's tough.
Wow.
On Gasson right there. Fortunate his knees are okay with that tackle. There's nothing. Renault's not doing anything wrong. But now, so O'Dane commits the foul. And what we just talked about was the chess match. How much time does it take for the Comets?
And they're going to get a shootout here. That was in. It must have been. It was inside the area, and Renault clearly had the advantage. So a shootout here is going to be awarded to Milwaukee. Max Ferdinand behind the ball. So it'll be Max versus Casey Gasson. Max, one touch. And Gasson comes out, eats him up. And Gasson stones Ferdinand. Good job there by Casey. Now Milwaukee is on the power play. And they have pulled Gasson and brought out Lucas Rodriguez. So basically, it's 5v5 out there with Lucas out there as the sixth attacker.
I like it, Nick. I'll be honest with you. I'm one of these guys like, you know, play to win. Losing the game by 7 is the same as losing the game by 2.
Flores.
But the chances of being able to come back and kill this power play. Now, look, is the Milwaukee Wave, do they have possession on a power play? No, they don't right now. The Comets do.
So here we go. The Comets actually technically a man down, but it's even strength with Rodriguez out there. This is kind of an unusual situation that we're watching right now as Leo Gibson pulls it out of the boards and walks it over here. 44 seconds left on the power play to Milwaukee, but you never know that Milwaukee was on the power play based on the last 2 minutes.
Now I like the strategy a lot.
30 seconds on the advantage to the Wave. 10:36 left to play in the game. Wave 10, Comets 5. Bennett back to Liete. Now Ian Bennett hits it first time. Blocked by Pino. Fought for and won by the Comets. 8 seconds left on the Waves power play. Here is Kelly to Anthony Grant. Grant shoots and scores! He shot it just as time expired, so I think that might be an even strength goal. It's now 10-6. Comets have scored 2 straight.
Two-man game right there with Pat Kelly and Anthony Grant. What I liked is Pat got the possession and he carried forward, so he made Liete have to defend him, and then he dribbled towards. See, watch now, he's carrying Liete this way. Now he dribbles towards Anthony, and Anthony plays it. Now look at the space. Remember we talk about space a lot of times, Nick, defensively. When a player's offensive player stops the ball, that's when you got to close the space down. So right here, see, Riccardino's sitting. He shouldn't sit. He's got to try to close down that space, and maybe his heel hits that ball right there, and it deflects out. Maybe Anthony Grant tries a different skill set, you know, whatever it may be. But by sitting, you're allowing the offensive player to dictate. They got a ball game, 10-6 now, Nick. You're getting there.
Chipping away at it. 10:09. Excuse me, 10:09 left to play in the fourth. As we look at the Comets girls, Kyle Williams.
So, Nick, excuse me, sorry. It took 45 seconds to score the first goal. Then it took 4 minutes, just a little bit over, to get the second goal. Power play hurts you a little bit, right? Now, what's going to happen here is it's just a matter of time. In 10 minutes, how long does it take to get the next goal?
It's now Hain to the far post on that one, almost given up by the Comets there. Riccardino was there. Now Braithwaite on up to Sinclair. Rodriguez looking to come on. Here's Gasson. Over to Pino. Rodriguez waving Gasson off. Lucas comes on. Ball's turned over in the Waves' last third. So Lucas will have to stay on here as Santos plays it over to Grable.
That change should have been better by the Comets, Nick. You saw it. I don't know if our fans at home saw that, but it should have been a better change right there. Gasson should have recognized and got off the field earlier and allowed Lucas to come on. Instead, he stayed in the middle of the field there.
Foul called on Anthony Grant. Anthony having a few words with Max Ferdinand. Anthony Grant thought Max had a little embellishment there as he went down against the boards. Now they're having a few words with each other.
Are they sharing Christmas cookie recipes, Nick, as you usually like to say?
No.
Anthony's played a really good game, Nick. I've liked how he's getting acclimated more and more, and you're seeing a little bit of dominance from him. And you don't want anybody to play dirty, but you like guys to play hard right there. And what you're seeing is Anthony's taking some pride. He's being physical in the game right there. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of swagger and a little bit of attitude. And that's good for Anthony.
Sixth attacker back out there. 8.5 to play in the game. Rodriguez with a heater that goes wide. Oh, the rebound out to Bennett. This could be dangerous. Here is Bennett trying to chip. Lucas comes off the glass, and Lucas gets the rebound. Rodriguez over to Sinclair. Now Kyle. Comets need a kickstart their offense right here. Roll through, shot, save, made by Lemos.
Great job by Jonathan Lemos right there. Nothing wrong with what anybody did right there. Kyle Williams with the dummy run, great ball in. BP with the early turn.
Now Sinclair to Perez. Perez shoots and hits it home. Perez off the far post. And the Comets are within 3. Are you saying there's a chance?
So you're saying there's a chance, huh? All right, Nick. What you like here is O'Dane goes early. He's smart. BP just takes a little look. The key here on that, BP looks up, so both Santos and Ruggles have to defend. Look, BP's look up right there. You see that little look up? So Ruggles and Santos both have to stop because they think BP's going to play a centering ball up top. It's a veteran move by Brian Perez, man. So he looks off the defense, and then he slots the ball home.
So what are the Comets doing right now that they weren't doing in the third quarter?
Well, one, sixth attacker is allowing the Milwaukee Wave to have to defend. Okay, so the Wave's line changes are slower, so the guys are having to sit out there and defend for longer stretches. Quite frankly, there's just a little bit better, more of a, what I would consider a purpose or a sense with the ball movement. They look hungrier. They look more organized. Their passes are crisper. There's a little bit more of a purpose to them. And so by making the Wave defend, you're getting more opportunities, getting some tired legs out there, and, you know, you've scored 3 goals, and you're just over halfway, or just right at halfway of the quarter here. Okay,
pancakes,
so you were at a 6-goal deficit.
Eggs,
you trim that
cereal,
in half, halfway through the fourth quarter.
Fruits,
still a steep mountain to climb, that's for sure here, with 7:40 left to play in the game.
Taquitos de queso enrollados.
As we look at Brian Perez here, having a little competition with one of our fans here.
Mr. Brian Perez got 11, Daniela. You got 12. Congratulations.
And she wins.
Plus a gift certificate to Pepper Jack Grill and a scarf. There's a scarf. It's cold out.
All right, tonight's game brought to you by North Kansas City Hospital, the exclusive medical provider of the Comets. From minor injuries to serious trauma or illness, their team of medical specialists is equipped to handle all of your healthcare needs. Stay at the top of your game with North Kansas City Hospital.
5 minutes for kicking the ball off the field following the goal. Penalty is served by number 6 for Milwaukee, Viego.
So there was a misconduct penalty against Milwaukee there that we did not see. Guilherme Vega is in the penalty box serving a 5-minute penalty for kicking the ball out of play after the goal.
Jonathan Lemos actually is the penalties on him. Viegas serving it.
Gotcha.
You can tell Lemos is frustrated right there. He's given up 3 goals. His team's been defending a ton.
Comets with some pressure here. Santos up to Grable. Now forward to Renault. Renault challenged by Pino. Gets it over to Grable. Then back to Santos. Can the Comets come back? All the way back. They're halfway there, within 3. Under 7 to play now. Santos. Over to Liete. He has 4 goals tonight. Forward to Hain. Andre Hain, wall pass. Looking for Ruggles. Ruggles and Togba give chase, and Togba called for the foul, and the fans did not agree with that.
Togba looks at head of officials at MASL. Ryan Siggett says, I know I'm the new guy, but come on here.
Leite. Renault. Shot blocked by Gibson of the Comets. Up to Leo. See if the Comets can get it across the half line. Anthony Grant. Gasson goes off. Rodriguez comes on. Sixth attacker on for the Comets. Lucas Rodriguez wears the red sixth attacker jersey. Here's Leo. Leo has been close several times. Now Hain kicks it from downtown, just above the crossbar. Cedar Rapids defeating St. Louis. Final score 6-2. That's just coming in. 6-2. Cedar Rapids moves to 6-4. Here's Perez. Perez off the boards. The rebound back to Perez. Now Anthony Grant is in there. Now Anthony Grant getting and now a penalty is coming up. Anthony got tangled up with a couple of Wave players down there, including maybe one of them was Andre Hain. And Anthony is going to be sent off. .534 left to play in the game. Oh, and Anthony has been given the red card. He has been ejected from the game. Anthony Grant has just been sent off. He must have got the penalty, and then from the penalty box, completely lost his cool, and was issued the red card by Ryan Sigich.
I'd like to see if there was some sort of explanation. You know, we're not getting anything from the box down there as far as what happened. The play itself was not a red card. I know the play itself wasn't a red card. You know, and I respect Ryan Sigich wholeheartedly, and we, you know, quite frankly, we did, you know, his judgment is probably spot on, but there's just no explanation of what's happening there.
They need to have somebody serve the penalty since Anthony has been sent off, and they're waiting for someone to come over to serve the penalty for the Comets. It looks like Carlos Trombini is going to come over and serve the 2-minute penalty for the Comets. And you got to wonder, with Anthony being sent off, he's an offensive threat. He's got a tally here.
He's played a great game so far.
We hope that. And that penalty right there just sort of puts a halt to the momentum that the Comets had built here in this fourth quarter, scoring 3 straight.
Red card now to Kansas City number 22, Kansas City, Anthony Grant. 2 penalty served by number 17, Carlos Trombini.
So, Wave on the power play here. Lemos plays it long. Lucas shielding away Bennett. Lucas comes up with it. And Rodriguez throws it out to Kelly. Then over to Sinclair. O'Dane looking to waiting for some teammates to show up. Sinclair stiff arms Renault down, and a foul is called on Sinclair. And Coach Runfed's beside himself.
Well, the reason Coach Runfed's beside himself is because Ryan Sigich is 40 yards away from the play, and the official that's 2 feet away from the play is not making the call. And I'm not saying that Ryan's incorrect with this call. The point is what's the other referee doing if he's 2 feet away from the call that another referee's having to make it that's 40 feet away?
Similar situation happened in the first half that went against Milwaukee. When Sigich was away from the ball and it made a call that went against Milwaukee. Here, another foul called against Kansas City. And Kelly whistled for the foul. 4.5 to play. Renault to Bennett. Bennett moves, shoots, deflected partially by Gibson. Sinclair out with it for the Comets. Playing it forward to Kelly. Kelly's there. Lemos comes off his line. Kelly forced into the right wing corner. Good defensive work there by the Wave. Now Pino between 2 players, shoots, save, rebound, goal! It's now 10-8.
It's great.
Kelly with the goal there.
Kelly with the goal and his whole body in the goal as well.
So 4 straight by Kansas City.
Great work right here. Pino going hard, early shot. Lemos with a good save, and then Kelly just sells his body out right here. Just completely sells his body out. Look at that nice little roll through right there by Pino, and I love the toe. I love the toe right when he cut. I love it.
21, at Kelly. Assistant number 6, Pino.
6th attacker still out there. Comets trail by 2. They have scored 4 straight, answering Milwaukee's 4 straight in the third. Now Bennett from Liete. And that'll quiet the crowd. It's 11-8. Oh my.
Milwaukee Wave goals for number 26, Ian Bennett.
That's Ian's 21st on the year. And for Marcio Liete, that is his 8th assist.
Milwaukee Wave assists for number 6.
Huge goal by Milwaukee.
10 seconds in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're the Comets. You have so little margin for error right there. You're coming back from a 6-goal deficit. The fact, you know what I liked about that finish right there by Bennett? Took it one time, right? Took it one time. Even if he doesn't score, he took it one time right there, and he knows that, you know, Lucas Rodriguez isn't a goalkeeper. It's just a veteran, smart move by Ian.
Comets within 3. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left to play. Gibson. Pino. Williams. Pino now to Gibson. Gibson into the corner to Kyle Williams. Now Pino, front and center, Leo. Comets making Milwaukee work here. Perez is in the corner. He tumbles down. Ball comes off. Gibson's there. Back down to the corner to Pino. Pino got hit in the face with an elbow, and is that going to be a penalty coming up? Sigich put it back in his pocket.
Now he pulled it out. He pulled the blue afterwards.
So he pulled it back, and I think it's going to send Liete off for an elbow against
Pino.
So now the Comets go on the power play here. 3 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in the game. This has turned out to be kind of a crazy finish here.
Excuse me, Nick, that was Milan Ivanovic that got elbowed there by Liete. So now you got the Comets are on a power play here.
And with the 6th attacker out there, they've got a 2-man advantage.
Got to score on a set piece, Nick. I'm going to be honest with you right here. Score while the clock stopped.
Nacho. Perez just above the crossbar. Precious time off the clock ticking. Perez again. rolls it left. Ivanovic. Now Gibson, blocked by Renault.
Too much time's ticking off, Nick. You got to score on that set piece when you're 6v4.
Here's Gibson. Now Flores. Now Perez again, a shot save. Lemos, rebound, shot save. Brilliant save, Lemos. 2:24 to play. And the game is slipping away from Kansas City. Now Gibson with a drive, and on the log roll, Santos. Here's Gibson. Corner to Nacho. Shot, goal! Kyle Williams makes it 11-9. 2:08 left to play.
You got to admire the fight by the Comets. The problem is, Nick, is there's this thing, and this thing's called the clock, and this it's just ticking down. You know. I like Nacho's turn right there. A little wall of score for us, for our friends back at home watching. That's a wall of score on purpose right there. Nacho, if you watch, he's holding here and he turns and on purpose toes that ball off the boards right there because he knows that Kyle Williams is there.
Nacho Flores, his 6th assist, and Kyle Williams' 4th goal on the year, 11-9. Comets' next home game is coming up on Saturday, December 30th, against the Baltimore Blast. Tickets, contact kccomets.com or 1-888-9-COMETS. 1-888-9-COMETS for your Blast and Comet tickets coming up on Saturday the 30th. It has been a busy month of December for the Comets, I believe. That game, actually 8 games for the Comets in the month of December.
Yeah, it's been a
really
lot.
busy. That's almost, I mean, as a coach, you'd probably rather not play that many games in a month, right?
Well, you got 22 game season. Playing 8, I mean, you're playing over a third of your games essentially in 30 days. That's a lot. And then you've been dealing with some injuries, and then now you get Anthony Grant with a red card. He's going to miss the Baltimore Blast game.
Oh, yeah.
Just when Anthony's starting to kind of get in the flow and the feel of things, you know,
that hurts.
These kind of things are, you know, they're tough to overcome, Nick.
So both teams. Oh, wait a minute here. So both teams are at even strength, and Liete's still out there, so there's no penalty.
No, the Comets scored on the power play.
That's right. Sorry.
It's more energy in the building in the last 3 minutes than there has been the whole entire night, Nick. You know, there's such a purpose with the Comets right now.
Wave lead by 2. Last 2 minutes of the game. Comets in the Waves' last third. Andre Haendel comes out with it and then kicks it long and goes over the glass.
Calling a foul on Kyle Williams over there, so the Waves going to get the ball with a minute and a half. And you know, I guarantee you they're not going forward with this ball. So right now, if you're the Comets players, you got to mark up every single Wave player because you know the ball's going backwards. There's no way he's playing the ball forward.
And that's where Coach Kim's pointing his players to. Well, it did go forward to Renault. Back to Bennett, who shoots. Save made by Rodriguez. Bennett with another drive. Comes off to Renault, and then, back to Liete. Liete back to Lemos. Lemos battling. Comets trying to win it away. In the last third, foul called. 2 minutes. Penalty is called. Gets Lemos.
Yeah, John Lemos is the last man right there, so it's 2 minutes all day long. Again, and I'm not trying to pick on the new young official that's over there, and you see head of officials Ryan Sigich speaking with him right there, and he's telling him that last man, that's got to be at 2 minutes, and that's why referee Ryan Sigich called it again from 30 yards away. If the Comets, you got a timeout right here. This would be a good spot to take it, get this thing set up, and try and score on a set piece. Again, while the clock stopped.
5 seconds in the fourth quarter. Number 99, Hayne, will serve the penalty in the mark returning Ferguson Law penalty box.
Perez, Gibson.
It's a Domino's Pizza power.
Now Lucas. Perez, Rodriguez, Nacho, shot, saved by Lemos. Held in by the Comets, under a minute to play, 49 seconds left. Here's Rodriguez, shoots. Lemos makes the save. Lemos out to Ian Bennett, and a penalty's coming up. And that's going to go against Lucas Rodriguez.
You know, Nick, you're looking at me. You know, this young guy's he's gonna need to look at some film. You know, afterwards.
Oh my gosh,
Nick, we try to be as fair as possible, and a lot of times, quite frankly, we get complimented because we're equally harsh on our own team. You know, maybe more so than the opposing team, but you know, I've now watched head of officials Ryan Sigich make at least 10 calls from the other side of the field.
So Trombini will serve the penalty because Lucas is the 6th attacker. So Comets will still have the advantage with the 6th attacker out there. 35 seconds left. The Comets trail by 2. Here's Liete. Over to Ferdinand. Ferdinand to Liete. Fanned on the shot. 25 seconds left. Here's Pino. Pino picks the ball up. 20 seconds left. Pino still going forward. Pino shoots. Save is made by Lemos. Couldn't hang on. 13 seconds left. And Lemos will pounce on it.
Good save by Lemos right there.
Yep, and that should do it for the Milwaukee Wave here. Final seconds, and that's your ball game right there, folks. Comets made a valiant effort to come back, but in the end, it falls just short. The Milwaukee Wave victorious tonight over the Kansas City Comets by a final score of 11-9. I like the effort of the Comets there, not giving up. It was that third quarter that really did them in here, coming out flat from halftime.
Well, you liked their effort in the fourth quarter. You didn't like their effort in the third quarter. You can't get down 6 goals to anybody, let alone the Milwaukee Wave, and expect to come back from it. But the effort, as you alluded to, is admirable. You're not putting your head down. You're continuing to fight right there.
Pino, Anthony Grant, Brian Perez, Pat Kelly, and Kyle Williams with 5 goals in the fourth quarter. But it was that one by Ian Bennett that gave him a 2-goal cushion. And actually Drew Ruggles is going to end up getting the game-winning goal for the Milwaukee Wave tonight. In terms of if you're handing out awards for tonight's game for Milwaukee here, I think you got to start with Marcio Liete. 4 goals and at least 1 assist tonight for Marcio Liete. He really carried the water for the Wave tonight. Also, Renault had a pair of goals tonight.
Yeah, you know, the Wave's got such a balanced squad. Here's a good example. Andre Hayne, how often do we call his name? We didn't.
No, we didn't.
Because there's enough players on the Wave that a guy like Hayne can be quiet and not score a goal. And maybe, you know, I know he didn't score, but maybe he had his assist or something. But my point is, you know, Andre's a very good player. There's plenty of options for the Wave, and that whole train kind of starts with Liete and Ferdinand, right? And both those players played up to their billing, and obviously Ian Bennett played up to his, and I thought Lemos played good in goal too as well. You know, it was a good job by the Wave to withstand that Comets kind of comeback there in the fourth quarter.
Well, Milwaukee victorious. They have now won 8 consecutive games to start the season. That is a new Wave franchise record, and it really sets up what could potentially be one of the biggest games of the season. If you look down the road here for Milwaukee, their next 4 games include a New Year's Day game against Kansas City at home. They travel to Cedar Rapids and then back home for Cedar Rapids, and then they travel down to Mexico to take on Sonora. If Milwaukee can win all of those games, that would set up a potential matchup with Monterey where Milwaukee would be 13-0 and Monterey would likely be 11-0. That's on January 14th, where you'd have the undefeated Wave at 13-0 and an undefeated Monterey team at 11-0 for a big showdown in one of the biggest games of the year.
Yeah, long way to go between there. We hope, hopefully the Wave will have a loss coming up against the Comets on New Year's Day. The Comets have had a lot of success, quite frankly, in that matchup there. I believe Coach Kim and I were talking about that. The Comets have played that game 6 out of the last 8 years. They've been the opponent on New Year's Eve in Milwaukee.
That's crazy. Well, they are always tough up in Milwaukee. The Comets' next home game is going to be, well, against the Baltimore Blast, and that'll be next weekend on Saturday. To get your tickets, kccomets.com and 1-888-9-COMETS. And Baltimore Blast, always great to see them come to back to Kansas City, but again, it'll be a tough test for this young Comets team that's still trying to find their way this year.
Yeah, there's glimpses, Nick.
Yep.
Of a whole lot of positive stuff.
Anthony Grant, 2 goals.
2 goals, played really well, added some swagger. I like the way that him and Nacho and kind of carry themselves a little bit. But then there's a lot of negative stuff that you see too, and that's going to kind of be the deal. Is can the Comets correct those mistakes and make themselves a little bit of a cleaner club?
So the Comets fall to 2-6. Milwaukee improves to 9-0. The Comets' next home game is Saturday, December the 30th against the Baltimore Blast. kccomets.com and 1-888-9-COMETS for ticket information. We want to see you here loud and proud. The next game for the Milwaukee Wave is coming up on New Year's Eve Day. It's against our Kansas City Comets. 5:05, and Tom Wynn and Art Kramer will have the call for you on MASL TV. That's going to do it for us here in Kansas City. Bud, great to see you as always. Terrific insight for our director tonight, Devron Brower and Jeff Houston. And alongside Brian Budzinski, I'm Nick Vassos. Comets fall tonight against their central rivals, the Milwaukee Wave. The final score, 11-9. That's going to do it from here. Good night from Silverstein Ice Centers Arena.